Good afternoon, guys. Doing a quick video today. A few of you guys have, I'm sure, seen my posts in the Facebook groups and on Instagram, but I've been working on, sorry, my truck is an absolute mess right now. We just got back from a 4-day trip with the trailer for my birthday with the kids and wife. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen Starlink came out with their mini satellite dish. I've been weighing my options, and between my truck, I pay like $70 or $65 a month for garbage internet in my truck, and also for OnStar. Basically, use the OnStar so my wife can see where I'm at when I'm out on trips. It just hasn't been worth it anymore. And then I pay $25 to $45 a month for my Zoleo. The satellite came out last month, I believe. The mini. The satellite's expensive. It's like $600, but they have a plan that's down to $50 a month for 50 gigs of data, which is plenty for me. So I figured I'd try it out. I canceled all my OnStar stuff and everything, so it's basically actually going to save me money going over to this. I spent the last couple days designing this mount for the roof of the canopy. I'm going to climb up there and I'm going to show you guys. This is a third iteration, and this will be my final iteration. I'm actually going to put this on the truck today. But yeah, I'll get everything set up and then I'll meet you guys up on the roof. All right, guys, so this is the mount I came up with. It's basically sandwiches the Starlink mini satellite in between these two top layers. This is actually a hinged mount. I don't have it down on the camper yet, but basically, I'm still waiting on a few parts to show up. They'll be here on Saturday. Today's Thursday. The front has these little tabs here on the front. And that's the last piece I'm waiting on is the heat inserts, the 1/4-20 heat inserts. I only ever use small ones, so I didn't have them in stock. But basically what this is going to do is allow me to use these two thumb screws right here. I'll basically screw these in for travel and everything. That'll keep this completely down and tight. And when I go to camp, I can unscrew these thumb screws, pull them out, and then what we'll do is we'll lift up this, lift up these kickstands here, and there's little tabs on the bottom. I'll show you guys here in a minute. Basically sets the Starlink satellite up at an angle. This angle is the perfect angle for when the camper is up, the wedge is up. This will still be pointing straight up. I integrated little hooks here and on the bottom. That's just if I'm in a windy area. I like to park into the wind. I can just put a bungee around this. I need to get something that's a little bit shorter than that. But that'll keep the tightness on this, so it'll keep this from blowing up and over. The way I designed this is actually so, let me show you guys here on the back. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do pins or not, but right now I just have a couple 1/4-20 Allens that go 4 inches in on each side. I've designed this to where I can pull the bolt out of the hinge, or I can pull a pin. I may change this over to some sort of pin, but I can pull this pin off. So if I'm camped out in the woods and I've got a clearing next to me, not where I'm camped, I can take just the Starlink piece off of this with just pulling that bolt out. And I designed it to leave enough room here. I'm going to permanently keep a pole mount attached to the satellite, and I can actually take the satellite off and move it out into an opening and set it up on a tripod, and then have just like a 70-foot cord. But yeah, so I designed it. It's got a shit ton of 3M tape on the bottom because I don't want it going anywhere, and I'm not trying to drill more than I have to into the roof of the camper here. So it's going to be on 3M tape. The whole underside of this was coated with adhesion promoter. It's printed out of PETG. I designed it so it's kind of hard to tell with the tape here, but I've got these drain holes on the front and on the rear. That's so when water gets in there, they can still get out. Some on the front for when you lift it up, and then air will come in hopefully and push water out if any water gets in. I made the larger channel in the middle, and that was actually by design to fit over these rivets that Lone Peak uses in their roof. Because I was kind of debating on if I wanted all the way to the back or if I want it a little bit forward. I think I'm going to put it as far back as I can go. Basically, right where the roof ends is, I think, where I'm going to put it. And then I also made this designed so I can put a solar panel like port in the roof to run my power wire in. That fits underneath. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not. I'm still on the fence with that. I may just put a hole in here and put a pass-through to put the wire in. I think I'm going to go that route. And then worst case down the road, if I don't like it, I can always pull that off and put that port back into the solar panel port and then put that port over the top of that. I just don't like how big these are. So I think I'll just drill a hole in, and that'll still allow me to close it. I'm going to have this wire directly to 12 volt. The mini will run 12 to 36 or 40 volts, I think. It needs to run a lot of power though, so you can't use the stock wiring if you're going to run it off of 12 volt. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire that it came with, cut it extremely short, just long enough to go from here right into the camper, because the end of the power cord has gasket on it basically to keeps this waterproof. So I'll just cut it long enough to get into the camper. Then in the camper I'm going to wire it to thicker gauge wire, and that should carry enough amperage to run it on 12 volt without having any issues. And then I'll take that the rest of the cable they sent me, and then I'll make that into a plug to where I can run this remote off the top of the truck. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this 3M tape off. I'm actually going to grab some cleaner and get this cleaned up, and then we'll get this stuck down, and then I'll show you guys with the camper popped up what the angle is and how it's perfectly flat. So let me grab some cleaner and I'll be right back with you guys. Let me know if you guys would be interested in this. I'm still undecided on if I want to offer this mount up for sale or not. It'll be an install at your discretion sort of thing. Probably into it, probably close to 30 hours of computer time getting everything designed. I've had a few people reach out to me saying they're interested in it. If I have both of my printers on it, I basically am printing nonstop for almost 20 hours, which takes everything away from all my other stuff. If it is of interest and popular enough, I may pick up another printer or two, and I can have those running. If we do offer it, this will be an expensive mount. It'll probably be between $350 to $450. But on top of the almost 40 hours of print time, there's about 3.5 hours of post-processing. There's 36, I think, heat inserts on this. Oh, I think 40 bolts, 40 little bolts, M4 bolts, and then the 2 thumb screws on the front. A lot of the full-size guys said they had no need for this because they've got plenty of roof real estate on their trucks to put a mount on the roof of their truck. But us short bed, mid-sized truck guys, there is no roof available, and my hood is aluminum. So I'm basically stuck with getting something installed on the roof, which I'm perfectly fine with. I just need enough basically to use it in the truck, in the camper, and then if I'm out camping with the family, possibly with the trailer. But I'm basically getting this to keep in contact with my wife and kids, and if I have any issues out on the trail, I'll be able to contact whoever I need to contact, get online, research whatever I need to research, be able to make phone calls and text and stuff via Wi-Fi. The nice thing with Starlink is you can pause the service whenever you want. You obviously pay for the full month, so you have service for that entire month. But if I'm not going out, or we're not going out for a month or two, I can pause the service, so I don't have to pay the $50 a month, and then I can just start it back up when we're heading out again. And then I think it's $1 a gig or $2 a gigabyte after the 50 gigs, which I think everybody was kind of complaining about. But think about it, you pay $50 for the 50 gigs, so you're already paying $1 a gig for it anyway, so who cares? Like I said, I'm basically just going to be using it to keep in contact with my family, and maybe stream some YouTubes in the morning or something when I get up early. But yeah, so that's all the tape pulled off of there. We're going to get this lined up and pushed down basically, but I think I'm pretty set on having this as far back as I can, because that would put it up as high as possible. It's lined up with the back of the camper here. It's not perfect. It is what it is. It's going to be pretty hard to get off once it's stuck down. Yeah, that'll rip my roof off before that'll come off. Oh yeah, it's solid. That ain't going anywhere. Like I said, I'm missing these 2 screws for the next 2 days, so I'm just going to grab a rubber band, a couple of rubber bands, and wrap it around there a couple times to keep that from going up while I'm driving. I don't plan on going anywhere the next couple days, but just in case. So yeah, let me get cleaned up. I've got a whole pile of 3M tape things here, and then I'll get you guys put down on the ground, and we'll get this lifted up so I can show you guys that it's perfectly flat when the camper is deployed. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, I forgot to mention, I had a couple of the guys asking me how this is going to work out. So basically, when I get to camp, I'll basically just climb up my tailgate. My chest is about a foot higher than the top of the camper. So I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm like a foot and a half, 2 feet taller than the top of the camper when I'm on my tailgate. So when I get to camp, I'll basically come up here. I got to come up here to release the tent anyways. I'll just reach up, pull those two thumb screws. I'll pull this up, put the kickstands up, get them lined up with the holes. I'll take my bungee, like I said, if it's windy, throw that up, and then I'll basically jump off the tailgate and set up the camper like usual. So let's get you guys there. So yeah, from there I'll just jump back up on the tailgate and get this set up like I usually would. So pull the clamps off, push up. Got a lot of weight on my roof. A lot of people have asked me why it takes a little bit extra there. But yeah, that's the camper set up. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but the Starlink is perfectly flat, pointed straight up at the sky. No angle at all. It's perfectly flat right where it's at. Let's see if I can get you guys up close with that. Sorry if it's wobbly. I got you on the end of a 7-foot tall pole. But yeah, that'll keep the Starlink pointed directly at the sky. I haven't activated my Starlink. I might do that tonight or tomorrow. But next thing I need to do is I'm going to pull the tent fabric out as I close the camper so I can drill the hole in the roof for the wires to pass through. So I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was just looking at it. If I just use just this, I've got to drill a 3/4 inch hole for that. If I use the solar port and I just run the wire into here, I can just basically drill a hole big enough to run this little tiny wire through. I'm more comfortable with that for now. If this doesn't work, then we'll drill a bigger hole. But for now, I think I'm gonna go with this. So I'm just making sure everything is gonna fit okay in there. Just thinking of maybe doing it off to the side. That'll work. Power comes out here. So basically I'm going to run this into the hole, down into the camper, then I'm going to cut this as short as I can, and I'll run a thicker gauge 12-volt wire all the way up to it. I pulled the tent out as I closed it. I reached up there. There is no tent fabric on the inside. It's straight bare roof right now. So we're just going to drill a hole probably about here. No going back, I guess, huh? Alright, I think that's really all I need. And then I also grabbed some caulk, just some white caulk, and I'm gonna caulk this. So let's, I'm gonna make sure that it's deburred from the inside. Cool. Let me grab my deburring tool. Some sharp pieces of aluminum on the inside there. Okay, nice and smooth on the inside. And I'm just going to be using some quick seal. Some water drops on the roof, so it's definitely raining. Did the best I could. I specifically ordered this one because it said it was double-sided taped, and I got it and it wasn't. And could have ordered a black one same day or next day, but I wanted a white one. I don't know why, because it's going to be behind the cover here anyways. Just a little dab will do ya. I'm going to put the wire in first so I don't get caulking all over the inside of the camper. All right. Thinking right about there. It's nice and tight, nice and tight. And then the wiring will just kind of sit under there. Have to work on that, probably like that. Perfect. And then when I want to pull it off the roof, I just reach in here, pull this plug out, and I'll probably 3D print a cap for that plug, just so if I've got it off when it's raining, that I don't have issues with water getting into the plug itself. So I already had 12 power ran up to this middle bar here. I had a Baja Designs red dome light there, powered. It was too bright, so I never used it. So I actually pulled that off. I just have this rigged here to make sure everything will work, but I've got it hooked up to the Starlink line here. I've actually found a way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to notch the light cover and ran the wires over and down the side. I've got my 12 volt turned on my my thing there, and we're going to. I just connected. It's powered up. I turned off my my mobile data and everything, and it's downloading a bunch of updates right now to the Starlink. So I'm sure that's probably eating up a lot of the internet speeds. Said I have 1 hour to activate it, or the internet will not be used. It says my connection is fast. I run like terabyte speeds at the house, so this is not fast, but it's faster than no internet at all. Let me open the Starlink app here. Let's see here. Yeah, it's still downloading a software update, but this is ran directly off of 12 volt, directly off my juice box here in the truck. Let's let it finish downloading. While this is downloading, I'm going to go through and, well, actually I can't redo any of the wires because it'll lose power to it, but I'll go up and at least notch the light cover here, and I'll be back with you guys here as soon as everything's done updating. 170, 180 megabytes per second. Screenshot that. About just shy of 4 upload. So speed test numbers 140 basically and 3.75. So I'm gonna shut everything down now, and let's get this wiring done real quick. I have to tighten up a few more wires, and I'm gonna pull the LED strip down and put the wiring behind the LED strip. But you can see up here, I ran the Starlink cable into the light channel across. You can see the, I don't know if you guys can see it in the video or not, but the wiring comes down there. I need to cut another couple inches off the wire, but everything's temporary. I'm gonna wire sleeve all of this. So what I'm gonna do now is we're going to turn on the 12 volt, and I'm gonna see how long it takes for the Starlink to boot up. There it is, ULAG. Connected. I'm gonna turn off mobile data, and we'll go here. Stay connected. All right. Assume it takes a minute for everything in the Starlink stuff to start up here. Let's see. Let's open the Starlink app. It just says connected with no internet. All right. So now it should be connected. Now it's saying I've got service here. So let's run the speed test here. I mean, internet's better than no internet. I don't care how fast it is. Like I said, I'm not gaming on it. It's literally there for, it's a pretty cloudy day today. I don't know if it has anything to do with it. I know absolutely nothing about Starlink. It says it's very slow. And I tested it again, it goes right up to 40. So let's pull up YouTube and see if I can stream a random video. Let's go to my videos here. My TV at home's linked to my phone, or to my YouTube here. Let's see what this is streaming at. 480. Let's go to 4K. Streaming it, no issues. I can let's let's go forward in the video, see if it'll randomly load in the middle here. And they actually put them up over your cab, and it goes down your windshield, so it doesn't go into your windows anymore. This is probably one of my favorite things I've done. If you guys would be able to see, but this loads everything perfectly fine. Basically perfect. Cool. Well, JT and I think are going to go out here in a week or so. So I guess we'll get it tested, and I'll test it on the highway and everything, and make sure everything stays connected. But I'll call that a win for now. So I'll get the camper taken down, show you guys how easy it is to pack it up real quick, and then we'll be all done for the afternoon. All right, guys, and then yeah, you just put your camper down like usual. You'll just reach up here, put the kickstands down, push this down. I'll probably keep the bungee cord in there just so it doesn't get lost, and then you'll just go through and put the thumb screw there, and you'll be all set. Let me know, like I said, if you guys would be interested in these, and we'll see about making a few for sale. Like I said, they're going to be a pretty penny, but basically it keeps your Starlink up there and then gives you the option of pulling it down if you don't, if you want to go set it up somewhere else or take it with you on a trip with another vehicle.